Hello there. This is part 2 of our region adapter video series. In the first video we watched, we basically went through and described sort of the problem statement, which was that we needed to be able to create a new region adapter to be able to surface LightSwitch commands in our view containers. So basically what we're going to do today is kind of follow through on building those adapters and show you just exactly how that's done. So the first thing we'll do is just go back and reacquaint ourselves with the model. As you can see here, we have this DockShell model that has a simple LightSwitch application, renders a simple LightSwitch application as far as the navigation groups and screens and commands and so forth. And as you recall, we wanted to be able to add a region within this view container such that these commands here, in this case data type commands, which are the save and refresh commands in a LightSwitch screen, automatically surface inside that region. And so if we flip over to our provider project, we'll take you through the changes that we implemented to kind of implement this feature. So under our default screen container Solution Explorer, we open up our default screen container. And as you can see, inside we have a number of controls. So we'll click on this control at the top here. And you'll notice that it's a DevExpress bar manager. And inside that the collections items collection of the bar manager, we actually have another element defined called the bar link container item. And we're treating this one as our container for our data commands. And in this case here, we're giving it a region name. Now this screen data commands region is a very specific name that DockShell looks for, actually the modeling tool looks for, and DockShell, when dealing with commands of type data from specific LightSwitch screens. So if we go back to here, that is this red region here that we're not looking at. So that's the element that we see there. And we just flip back to the control. So previously we were looking at building out a region adapter at a bar level, and you can still do that. In fact, we've actually built both a bar region manager and also a bar link container item. But this one's probably more suitable for our needs because we might have a data region for data commands, and we might have another bar collection container for actions and so forth, which in fact we will. And so what we want to do is kind of keep it as targetable as possible. So by putting these region tags directly on these containers, we're able to inject commands into these containers, and it's a little more granular than just injecting it into bar manager into its items collection, which, like I said, you can still do, but we chose to implement it this way. And so if we look at the bar manager bars, which is a collection of bars, we're defining a bar. And this bar is basically has a series of links on it. And in that link, we have this bar link container item link. So this is a DevExpress control. So for more information, please visit the DevExpress website. But you can see here that the name of this, the bar item name is really this control up here. So this instance of bar link container item is what is going to be automatically inserted into this, or a link is going to be created based upon that bar link container item. However, we still have to build out an adapter to support a bar link container. And fortunately, we've done that. So if we just go down, you can see here we have one for the bar adapter and one for the bar link container item. But since we're only looking at a bar link container in this video, we'll just look at the bar link container adapter, region adapter. And as pointed out in the previous video, region adapters are very, very simple. And their whole purpose in life is so that PRISM knows how to take a UI element that's being requested to be injected into this region contained by this control, and it knows how to kind of handle that. And so there are a number of supporting action events that you can choose to support. And in this case here, we're using we're choosing to support the add and the remove actions. And on the add, what we're doing was we're essentially enumerating all of the new items that are being requested to be added into this collection, and ensuring they're of type bar item, because we're only going to want to put items that are compatible with this type of control. And essentially this is the simple logic here, where we take the manager of this bar link item container, and if we look back to our XAML, what we're referring to is the instance of this bar manager, right? So this is looking up and getting this bar manager. And so we're adding this item to its items collection. So that would be the equivalent of us, if we were to go back to this XAML, of adding the command button into this items collection shortly after this control. And so if we go back to this control, you'll notice here then we're also creating a link based on that item, because it is a bar item, and we're adding that link to the items links collection of the, in this case, bar link container item. So again, we could have done that hardwired inside our XAML, but of course we don't have these commands. These bar item instances are actually created at runtime for us by the framework, based on the fact that a particular screen is open. So when a screen opens, we're going to see the two go back to here, the two commands get created. Now these two commands that are being created have to be bar item types. So if we look at the properties for this particular command, scroll across here, this one here, you can see that the we've created this small bar button item, and if we had to put our export picker here, MEF, you can see that there's the the command that gets surfaced on the nav bars or on the ribbon tabs in the ribbon groups, and then this thing is something that we want to target as a small button that gets targeted to these small regions. They're bar container items. And we also have to build that control, or create that control, which if we go up to our, let's see, shell commands, you can see that it's here, and we open it up. You can see that it's basically a bar button item, and all of these properties are bound to a backing view model that is part of the provider project. So that's pretty straightforward stuff, and that's pretty much out of the box DockShell implementation. And so the idea now is that we have taken the LightSwitch save and refresh commands, and basically we're telling DockShell to create this small bar button item and to bind the command from this particular LightSwitch data save and data refresh commands to the individual corresponding DockShell commands, which again are these those buttons that we were just looking at, that small button. And then we are saying also, if we were to stay on the same button, that we're telling DockShell to target this command, and since this is of type data command, if you can see down below, it will it's basically a save command. It knows that that this type of command, it's red here, will be targeting a PRISM region, and that PRISM region's name will be a save data commands region, and that save data commands region is that named textual name that we give to the region itself that we defined right here. So it's the same. It's basically the same thing. So screen data commands region. So that's kind of cool, and that's what's surfacing here. And so this view container contains one PRISM region, which is the screen data commands region. And so at runtime, because we have told we have set this property to true, which is this one here, this view container set to true, it's automatically going to create an instance of this small button item when creating this screen, it will create that small button item, and it will automatically inject that instance of that button into this region, which now, as you know, is actually inside that default screen container view, and it's situating itself inside this bar link item collection. And the moment that we do that, PRISM's going to then call this bar link container item adapter and run this particular logic. And I'll just put a breakpoint on the add, and we'll put a breakpoint on the remove so we can see that happening. Okay. And one other thing that we needed to do, as we learned in our other video, is that we need to register with the catalog registry these new adapters that were created. So we actually created two, but we're only demonstrating the one adapter at this point, which is the bar link container item. And this is how we actually do that. We in the register region adapters method within this particular file, we register the mapping, basically specifying the type and the supporting region adapter that we just created, which is this region adapter here. And so anytime we're pushing items into that region, PRISM will leverage this adapter to handle that. So let's take a look and see how that looks at runtime. All right, so as we go to open up our customer screen now, you can see now it's hitting this region adapter's add action. And if we just step that through, you can see that it is taking the bar item and adding it into there. And if we just hit F5, there should be a second one. We'll just hit F5 and let that run up. And so now you can see that the two nav buttons, we've purposely removed them from the top by turning the add to navigation view, set that to false, and we've set the add to view container on the button to true. And so we could have them on both places, but it kind of makes more sense that they're here. So if I press this button now, you'll notice that the remove event is firing, and two of those, and followed by two more adds. And the reason for that is that what's happening is that LightSwitch, when you do a refresh of a particular view, it actually removes the screen and rebuilds the screen. And so since these commands are originating on this particular LightSwitch screen, they in fact have to be removed and re-added. So that's why we're seeing those events fire. But if I was to, for instance, just simply take those events off, now that we see that they work, and go back and hit refresh, you can see that it works just fine. And of course, design's the same. It works the same way. So if you were to take this screen into design, like so, when you hit cancel, what I'll do is I'll put that breakpoint back on here and here so we can see this effect. Go back to our LightSwitch screen. So now when we hit cancel, same thing happens, right? LightSwitch says get rid of that screen and create a new one. And so 1, 2 commands are removed, 1, 2 commands are added, and the screen is then resurfaced, like so. So there you go. That is how you build a region adapter for a DevExpress bar scenario. And as you can see, we've successfully implemented it with pretty lightweight code. Really the challenge is more around understanding how to do something like this than anything else. So if you have any further questions, please do not hesitate to reach out to us through our contact page on our website at www.softlandingcanada.com. Thank you and have a great day.